At some point, most of us find ourselves yearning for change, a deeper understanding of who we are, and a life that feels truly fulfilling. Maybe there's a feeling that something is missing, or perhaps life has become a cycle of repetitive patterns that no longer serve you. You've tried to make improvements, read books, followed advice, set goals, but something remains elusive. Change seems to slip away like water through your fingers, and the same frustrations, fears, and habits continue to show up over and over again. You are not alone in this feeling. Many people, regardless of their background or circumstances, feel this same sense of being stuck, as though they are living a life half asleep, disconnected from their true potential. There's a quiet longing for something more, a whisper that tells you there's a deeper meaning, a greater purpose just beyond your reach, and the frustration of not knowing how to find it can weigh heavily on your heart. What if there was a way to unlock those hidden doors within yourself? What if you could tap into parts of your mind that you didn't even know existed, parts that hold the answers to your biggest struggles and the keys to your greatest strengths? What if the change you seek isn't in the external world, but deep inside you, waiting to be uncovered? The work of Carl Jung offers us a path to explore those hidden depths. Jung's philosophy provides a map to understanding the layers of your mind, particularly the parts that are often ignored, denied, or forgotten. He believed that real transformation comes not from fixing external circumstances, but from diving into the core of who you are and embracing the full complexity of your inner world. It is there, within your unconscious, that you will find the tools for lasting change. This isn't about quick fixes, surface-level adjustments, or pretending everything is okay. This is about real, profound growth, the kind of growth that takes time, effort, and the willingness to face all aspects of yourself, even the parts that are uncomfortable or difficult. Change isn't always easy, but the results are life-altering. You've likely encountered moments where certain emotions, thoughts, or behaviors arise without warning. You react in ways that surprise you, or you feel emotions you can't explain. It might seem like these feelings come out of nowhere, but Jung's work shows us that they are messages from the deeper layers of the mind, the unconscious. Beneath the surface, there is a vast world of thoughts, desires, and memories that have been suppressed, waiting to be acknowledged. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the parts of ourselves that we try to hide, either because we've been taught to reject them or because they make us uncomfortable. Yet, these hidden parts of our personality hold incredible power. Ignoring them only allows them to control us from behind the scenes. But when we face them, when we begin to integrate the shadow into our conscious awareness, something remarkable happens. We reclaim our wholeness. This is where true freedom begins. It's not in denying the parts of yourself you don't like, but in accepting and understanding them. It's through this self-awareness that you start to experience a deeper sense of peace and authenticity. The transformation doesn't just change how you see yourself, it changes how you live your life. Relationships improve, confidence grows, and decisions come from a place of true alignment, not fear or insecurity. But this journey doesn't stop with the shadow. Jung's philosophy also introduces the idea of archetypes, universal patterns that shape the way we experience the world. You may not know it, but these archetypes are already influencing your thoughts, your relationships, and your decisions. By learning to recognize them, you gain a powerful tool for navigating life with more clarity and purpose. Think of the ways you respond to challenges, the roles you play in relationships, the dreams you hold for yourself. Jung's archetypes, like the hero, the wise old man, or the lover, offer insights into these patterns. Recognizing the archetypes at play in your life allows you to step into your power more fully, to take control of the narrative instead of being unconsciously guided by forces you don't understand. And then there are dreams, those strange, often confusing images that fill your mind while you sleep. Jung believed that dreams are not meaningless, random occurrences, but rather messages from the unconscious mind. They hold symbols, images, and clues that reflect your deepest desires, fears, and potential. Paying attention to your dreams opens a door to understanding yourself in ways you never thought possible. Dreams can show you where you are stuck, where you are holding yourself back, and where you have untapped potential waiting to be explored. By learning to interpret the symbols within your dreams, you can begin to unlock new layers of personal growth and insight. This journey also leads to a crucial realization: the importance of balance. We all have opposing forces within us, light and dark, masculine and feminine, strength and vulnerability. Often we try to embrace only one side of these forces, rejecting the other. But Jung teaches us that true growth and fulfillment come from embracing both sides. It's in the integration of these opposites that we find balance, peace, and harmony. So, as you stand at the threshold of this journey, there is an invitation before you to step into a deeper understanding of yourself, to face the parts of you that have been hidden for far too long, and to embrace the wisdom and strength that comes from the integration of your whole self. The life you want, the change you seek, it's already within you. All you need to do is unlock it. Change is possible, not the fleeting kind, but the deep, lasting transformation that shifts the very foundation of how you live. This isn't just about improving one area of your life, it's about stepping into a completely new way of being. By diving into the teachings of Carl Jung, you're opening the door to a journey that will change the way you see yourself, the world, and your place in it. It takes courage to look inward, to confront what has been hidden, and to trust that the answers you seek are already within you. But it is that courage that leads to true freedom. This is your opportunity to grow, to heal, and to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. Are you ready to take that step? Are you ready to embrace the change you've been longing for? Your mind, your heart, your true self are waiting. The path is here. Step onto it and begin the journey of a lifetime. As we embark on this transformative journey, let's pause and reflect on something deeply personal: the yearning for more in life, that silent whisper urging you to seek out meaning and fulfillment. It's a feeling many people experience but often struggle to express. There is a sense that life could be richer, more aligned with your true self, yet you feel held back, unsure of how to bridge the gap between who you are and who you want to become. This is the moment to look within, not for quick fixes, but for deep, lasting transformation, exactly what the philosophy of Carl Jung offers. Carl Jung's work takes you beyond the surface level of self-help advice and digs deep into the unconscious, the part of your mind that holds the hidden truths about who you are. It's here that you find the root of your struggles and the key to your personal growth. Jung believed that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life without you even realizing it. Your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are often influenced by forces within you that remain unseen. By bringing these hidden parts of yourself into the light, you begin to change from the inside out. The unconscious mind, according to Jung, is not just a repository of forgotten memories or suppressed emotions. It is a vibrant, active force that influences every decision you make, every relationship you enter, and every fear or desire you hold. By understanding and accessing your unconscious, you can begin to unravel patterns that have held you back for years. This process may feel uncomfortable at first, but it is the only way to uncover your authentic self and start living a life that feels true to who you are. One of the most powerful concepts in Jung's philosophy is individuation. This is the process of becoming whole, of integrating all parts of yourself, both the conscious and unconscious, into a unified, authentic self. Individuation is not about becoming perfect, but about becoming complete. It's about accepting the light and dark within you, the strengths and weaknesses, and learning to live in harmony with all aspects of yourself. In the process of individuation, you start to realize that the parts of yourself you have denied or rejected are not your enemies. They are, in fact, the key to your personal growth. By embracing these hidden parts, you gain access to new strengths and insights that were previously out of reach. The journey to individuation is challenging because it requires confronting uncomfortable truths about yourself, but the rewards are immense. A deeper sense of purpose, inner peace, and fulfillment. Jung's philosophy teaches that self-awareness is the cornerstone of change. When you become fully aware of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, you gain the power to transform them. Without self-awareness, you remain stuck in unconscious patterns, repeating the same mistakes and wondering why your life never seems to improve. But with self-awareness, you can see where you've been holding yourself back and make conscious choices to move forward. Self-awareness, however, isn't just about noticing what's on the surface. It's about looking deeper, beyond your immediate thoughts and feelings, into the motivations and fears that drive them. It's about understanding why you react the way you do in certain situations, why you are drawn to certain people, and why certain aspects of your life cause you pain or frustration. This deep level of self-awareness opens the door to profound personal change. Jung believed that much of the pain we experience in life comes from the conflict between our true self and the persona we present to the world. The persona is the mask we wear, the roles we play to fit in, be accepted, or meet societal expectations. While the persona serves a purpose, it can become a prison if it prevents us from expressing our true selves. The more we hide behind the persona, the more disconnected we become from who we really are. Breaking free from the constraints of the persona requires courage. It involves peeling back the layers of conditioning, societal expectations, and self-imposed limitations to reveal the authentic self underneath. This process can feel like shedding an old skin, letting go of everything you thought you had to be, and embracing who you truly are, flaws and all. It's in this space of vulnerability that true transformation occurs. At the heart of Jung's work is the belief that wholeness is achieved not by rejecting parts of ourselves, but by integrating them. This includes embracing what Jung called the shadow, the parts of ourselves that we've been taught to deny or hide. The shadow holds the aspects of our personality that we find undesirable or unacceptable, but it also holds immense potential. By facing and integrating the shadow, we reclaim the parts of ourselves that we've lost and unlock new sources of strength and creativity. The process of confronting the shadow can be difficult, but it is essential for personal growth. The more we ignore the shadow, the more it controls us from the unconscious. It shows up in our lives through unexplainable emotions, reactions, and behaviors that seem out of our control. But when we face the shadow head-on, we take back that control. We learn to understand our darker impulses and emotions, and in doing so, we become more balanced, more whole. Jung's work also highlights the importance of integrating opposites within ourselves. We all contain opposing forces, light and dark, masculine and feminine, strength and vulnerability. Often, we try to align ourselves with only one side, rejecting the other. But true balance comes from embracing both. When we accept all parts of ourselves, we find inner harmony. This integration of opposites leads to a more peaceful, fulfilled life. One of the most fascinating aspects of Jung's philosophy is the concept of archetypes. Archetypes are universal patterns that exist within the collective unconscious, and shape the way we experience life. These include the hero, the wise old man, the mother, the lover, and many more. These archetypes influence our behaviors, relationships, and even our dreams. By understanding which archetypes are active in your life, you gain insight into your personal challenges and growth opportunities. The archetypes you align with can shift over time, reflecting your evolving journey through life. At times, you may feel the pull of the hero, urging you to take bold action and overcome challenges. At other times, the lover archetype may guide you toward deeper emotional connections. Understanding these shifts allows you to navigate life with greater clarity and intention, recognizing when certain archetypes are leading you toward growth or holding you back. In addition to archetypes, dreams play a crucial role in Jung's philosophy. Jung believed that dreams offer a direct connection to the unconscious mind, revealing truths and insights that are hidden from our waking consciousness. Dreams often speak in symbols, using metaphors and images to communicate deep truths about ourselves. By paying attention to your dreams and learning to interpret their messages, you can gain valuable guidance for your personal journey. Dreams are not random or meaningless. They are a reflection of your inner world, offering clues about your desires, fears, and unresolved issues. When you begin to understand the symbolic language of your dreams, you can use them as a tool for self-discovery and personal growth. Jung believed that dreams hold the key to unlocking hidden aspects of ourselves, helping us move closer to wholeness. The process of transformation through Jung's philosophy requires patience and dedication. It is not a quick fix or a one-time event, but a lifelong journey of self-discovery and growth. Each step along the way brings new insights, challenges, and rewards. The deeper you go, the more you uncover about yourself, and the more empowered you become to create the life you desire. Jung's philosophy is ultimately about embracing the full spectrum of human experience. It's about understanding that we are not just one thing. We are complex, multifaceted beings with a rich inner world. By exploring this inner world, we unlock our potential and step into a life that feels more authentic, more aligned with who we truly are. As you continue on this journey, remember that the path to change is not linear. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. But each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you've always wanted. With each new insight, you gain more clarity, more confidence, and more freedom to live in alignment with your true self. This journey is about more than just self-improvement. It's about self-acceptance. It's about learning to love and embrace all parts of yourself, even the parts you've been taught to hide or reject. In doing so, you free yourself from the limitations of the past and step into a future filled with possibility. The philosophy of Carl Jung offers a path to transformation that is both profound and practical. By exploring the unconscious mind, embracing the shadow, integrating opposites, and understanding archetypes and dreams, you can unlock the full potential of your true self. This journey will not only change your life, it will lead you to a deeper understanding of who you are and what it means to live a fulfilled, authentic life. The path is here, the choice is yours. Step forward and begin the transformation. Having explored how Carl Jung's philosophy can lead you toward a life of deeper meaning and fulfillment, it's now time to delve into one of the most profound aspects of Jung's work, the shadow. The path to personal growth is not simply about chasing the light, but about turning toward the parts of yourself that you've kept hidden, denied, or even feared. Understanding your shadow is not just about recognizing your flaws. It's about discovering the parts of your personality that hold the key to becoming more whole, more authentic, and ultimately more powerful. The shadow is made up of everything we have repressed, consciously or unconsciously, over the course of our lives. These are the traits, desires, and impulses that we've learned to hide from the world because we believe they're unacceptable. Whether it's anger, jealousy, vulnerability, or insecurity, these hidden parts of ourselves don't disappear just because we ignore them. Instead, they linger in the background, shaping our actions and reactions in ways we often fail to see. Understanding the shadow begins with an honest look at these parts of ourselves. For many, the concept of the shadow can feel intimidating. It's easier to focus on the positive aspects of ourselves, the qualities that bring praise and acceptance. But when we deny the existence of our darker traits, they don't simply go away, they take on a life of their own. These repressed aspects can manifest in harmful ways, leading to self-sabotage, strained relationships, and a sense of internal conflict. The longer we avoid facing our shadow, the more it influences our lives from the shadows. One of the most liberating aspects of confronting the shadow is the realization that it isn't just a collection of negative traits. The shadow also holds your untapped potential. Many of the qualities you suppress may contain strengths that, when properly integrated, can lead to personal empowerment. For instance, the aggression you try to hide may contain the seeds of assertiveness and self-protection. The vulnerability you suppress may open the door to deeper connections with others. By integrating these parts of yourself, you unlock new dimensions of who you are. Acknowledging your shadow requires you to let go of the need to be perfect. Perfection is an illusion that only serves to keep you disconnected from your true self. When you stop striving to meet impossible standards, you create space for authenticity. This doesn't mean indulging in negative behaviors, but rather understanding their root cause. When you allow yourself to acknowledge anger, fear, or sadness without judgment, you create the opportunity to heal and grow. The process of integrating the shadow is deeply personal, but it often begins with recognizing patterns in your life that seem to repeat themselves. These patterns might be emotional outbursts, self-destructive habits, or difficulties in relationships. Rather than viewing these moments as failures, they can be seen as signals from your shadow, inviting you to explore what's been repressed. Every moment of tension or discomfort is an opportunity to dig deeper and uncover what has been hidden. Personal growth is impossible without confronting the parts of yourself you don't want to face. The work of integrating the shadow is not about punishment. It's about healing. It's about giving yourself permission to be a full, complex human being who has strengths, weaknesses, and everything in between. When you stop pushing away the parts of yourself that you deem undesirable, you begin to heal the wounds caused by years of denial. The more you understand your shadow, the more compassionate you become toward yourself. Instead of feeling trapped by guilt, shame, or frustration, you can see these emotions for what they are: messengers from your unconscious, guiding you toward growth. You begin to recognize that even your mistakes carry valuable lessons. The act of owning your shadow is, in itself, an act of self-love. This journey is not one of shame or blame, but one of self-compassion. As you confront the parts of yourself you've kept hidden, you start to realize that these traits often developed as survival mechanisms. Perhaps you learned to suppress certain emotions because they weren't accepted by your family or community. Maybe you buried your desires because they didn't fit with societal norms. Understanding your shadow means understanding the context in which it was formed. As you engage in this work, you'll notice that the more you integrate your shadow, the less reactive you become. Situations that once triggered emotional outbursts or anxiety no longer hold the same power over you. This is because you're no longer projecting your repressed feelings onto others or external situations. Instead, you recognize these emotions as part of your internal landscape, and you have the tools to handle them with awareness and grace. The process of shadow integration is transformative not just for your inner world, but for your relationships as well. When you are no longer projecting your hidden fears, insecurities, or anger onto others, your relationships become more authentic and less fraught with conflict. You begin to see people for who they are, not as mirrors reflecting your unresolved emotions. At the core of this work is the idea of wholeness. Jung believed that true personal growth comes not from striving for perfection, but from embracing all aspects of who we are. This includes our light and our dark, our strengths and our weaknesses, our beauty and our flaws. It is through this embrace of the whole self that we achieve a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. Understanding your shadow also brings a deeper sense of freedom. When you are no longer controlled by the parts of yourself that you've repressed, you feel freer to express your true self. You are no longer bound by fear of judgment or rejection because you have accepted those parts of yourself that once felt unworthy of love or acceptance. This internal freedom translates into a more empowered and confident presence in the world. Another gift of shadow work is the ability to cultivate empathy. As you learn to accept the parts of yourself you once rejected, you naturally extend that same compassion to others. You begin to see that everyone carries a shadow, and that many of the traits you once judged in others are reflections of your own inner world. This awareness fosters deeper connections and more meaningful relationships. In many ways, the shadow represents the parts of ourselves that are most in need of love and attention. When we neglect these parts, they become distorted, acting out in ways that can be harmful to ourselves and others. But when we give them the care and understanding they need, they transform into powerful allies on our journey toward wholeness. Jung often spoke of the gold in the shadow, the idea that within our darkness lies untapped potential and hidden treasures. The qualities we repress often hold the key to our greatest strengths. By shining a light on these hidden aspects of ourselves, we reclaim the gold that has been buried beneath layers of fear, shame, or denial. The work of integrating the shadow is not something that happens overnight. It is a continuous process, one that requires patience, honesty, and a willingness to face discomfort. But the rewards are immense. As you begin to accept all parts of yourself, you experience a sense of inner peace that comes from no longer needing to hide or pretend. This journey also teaches you resilience. The more you confront your shadow, the stronger and more grounded you become. You realize that you have the capacity to handle difficult emotions, to face uncomfortable truths, and to navigate the complexities of your inner world with grace. This resilience extends beyond your internal landscape and equips you to handle life's challenges with greater ease. As you continue on this path, you'll find that the work of understanding your shadow is not just about personal growth, it's about reclaiming your power. The parts of yourself you've kept hidden are often the very parts that hold the key to your true strength. By integrating them, you unlock new levels of confidence, creativity, and purpose. The journey of shadow integration is one of self-empowerment. It's about taking ownership of your entire being, not just the parts that are easy to love. It's about standing in your truth, fully aware of your imperfections, and knowing that you are enough, just as you are. As you step into this fuller version of yourself, you'll notice that life begins to shift in profound ways. Opportunities that once felt out of reach become attainable. Relationships that were once strained begin to heal. And most importantly, you feel more connected to yourself and your purpose than ever before. The journey of understanding and integrating your shadow is not for the faint of heart. It requires courage, vulnerability, and a deep commitment to personal growth. But the transformation that comes from this work is life-changing. It is through this journey that you come to know yourself fully and step into the life you were always meant to live. So as you embark on this path, remember that the shadow is not something to fear. It is something to embrace. It is a part of you, and by bringing it into the light, you reclaim your wholeness, your strength, and your true potential. This is the path to profound self-awareness and personal growth, the path to becoming the fullest expression of who you are. As we leave behind the understanding of the shadow and its profound impact on personal growth, we now step into a different realm of Jung's philosophy, the power of archetypes. Archetypes are deep, universal patterns embedded in the collective unconscious that shape our experiences, decisions, and relationships. These invisible forces influence how we interact with others and how we perceive the world around us, often without our awareness. To truly understand ourselves and the dynamics of our relationships, we must explore how these archetypal patterns manifest in our lives. Jung believed that archetypes are like blueprints for human behavior, each representing a specific set of characteristics, emotions, and responses. These patterns are not unique to any one individual, but are shared across cultures and throughout history. Archetypes such as the hero, the wise old man, the mother, and the anima animus live within us all, guiding the way we relate to others and the roles we play in our lives. By understanding these archetypes, you can gain deeper insights into your relationships and transform the way you connect with others. When you begin to recognize the archetypes at play in your relationships, it opens a doorway to greater understanding and empathy. The hero archetype, for instance, often appears in those who feel compelled to save or rescue others. You may find yourself constantly stepping into situations where you are the problem solver, the one who takes charge and fixes everything. This can create a dynamic where you feel responsible for the happiness or well-being of others, but it can also lead to burnout and resentment when you're not acknowledged or appreciated for your efforts. On the other hand, understanding that someone else may be acting from the hero archetype can help you see their motivations more clearly. Rather than feeling frustrated by their need to control situations or take on too much responsibility, you can approach them with compassion. Recognizing the hero in someone else allows you to engage with them in a way that honors their strengths while setting healthy boundaries. It also helps you reflect on when you might be leaning too heavily into this role in your own relationships. Another powerful archetype is the wise old man or wise woman, which represents wisdom, guidance, and mentorship. In your relationships, this archetype can show up as a desire to offer advice, support, or comfort to those who are struggling. You might feel called to share your knowledge and life experiences, helping others navigate their challenges. While this is a valuable role, it's important to be aware of how it plays out. Are you offering guidance from a place of wisdom, or are you trying to control the outcome of someone else's journey? The archetype of the wise old man also serves as a reminder that there is wisdom to be gained in listening. Often, the most profound impact we can have on others comes not from giving advice, but from holding space for them to discover their own answers. When you embody this archetype with humility and openness, you create the conditions for deeper connection and mutual respect in your relationships. Perhaps one of the most transformative archetypes in Jungian psychology is the anima animus. The anima represents the feminine qualities within men, while the animus embodies masculine qualities within women. These archetypes reflect the balance of masculine and feminine energies within all of us, regardless of gender. In relationships, the anima animus can profoundly influence how we connect with our partners, friends, and family. When we fail to integrate the anima animus within ourselves, we may project these qualities onto others. For example, a man who has not embraced his own feminine qualities may seek out women who embody the nurturing, emotional, or creative traits he has repressed. Similarly, a woman who has not connected with her inner masculine may be drawn to men who display confidence, assertiveness, or strength, believing they complete something within her. This dynamic can lead to dependency or imbalance in relationships, as each person looks to the other to fulfill what they lack within themselves. However, when we begin to integrate the anima-animus, we find a deeper sense of wholeness. We no longer seek completion through another person, but instead engage in relationships from a place of balance and self-awareness. By embracing both the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves, we bring more authenticity and depth to our connections. This integration allows us to appreciate our partners or loved ones for who they truly are, rather than seeing them as reflections of our unmet needs. The archetypes also influence how we navigate conflict in relationships. Take, for example, the warrior archetype. When we tap into this energy, we feel strong, assertive, and capable of defending our boundaries. In relationships, this can be a positive force, helping us stand up for ourselves and protect our emotional well-being. But if the warrior is overactive, it can lead to unnecessary conflict, aggression, or a need to always be right. By understanding when the warrior archetype is at play, you can consciously choose how to respond to conflict. Rather than reacting out of defensiveness or anger, you can channel the strength of the warrior into clear communication and assertiveness without hostility. This awareness allows for healthier, more productive interactions where boundaries are respected and disagreements are resolved with respect. Another significant archetype that plays a role in relationships is the lover. The lover archetype is all about connection, passion, and emotional intimacy. When we are fully in touch with the lover within us, we experience deep bonds with others, whether in romantic relationships, friendships, or family connections. The lover brings joy, creativity, and a sense of aliveness to our relationships, fostering closeness and vulnerability. However, the lover archetype can also be prone to over-attachment or dependency if not balanced with other aspects of the self. When we lose ourselves in another person or cling too tightly to relationships for validation, we risk losing sight of our own individuality. By becoming aware of this dynamic, we can cultivate a healthier expression of the lover archetype, one that celebrates emotional connection while maintaining a strong sense of self. Archetypes also shape the roles we play in our families. The archetype of the mother or father is not limited to biological parents, but can influence anyone who takes on a caregiving role. In relationships, this archetype can manifest as a deep sense of responsibility for nurturing and protecting others. While this role can be fulfilling, it can also lead to patterns of overprotectiveness or enabling, where we feel the need to shield our loved ones from any form of discomfort or struggle. By recognizing the mother or father archetype within ourselves, we can better understand the dynamics at play in our family relationships. It allows us to provide care and support without crossing the line into overbearing control or smothering. We learn to trust the process of growth in others, knowing that they must face their own challenges in order to develop resilience and independence. The archetypes at play in relationships are not static. They shift and evolve as we grow. Jung believed that the process of individuation, becoming more whole, also involves integrating these archetypal energies in a balanced way. As we progress on this journey, we become more aware of how different archetypes influence our relationships at different times. We can then choose which aspects of ourselves to bring forward, depending on what the relationship requires at any given moment. For instance, during times of difficulty in a relationship, the archetype of the healer may emerge. This archetype represents the ability to mend, to nurture emotional wounds, and to foster reconciliation. When we embody the healer, We offer compassion, understanding, and a willingness to repair what has been damaged. However, it is essential to remember that the healer archetype is not about fixing others, but about facilitating a space where healing can occur naturally. The archetypes we embody also influence how we perceive and respond to change within relationships. The archetype of the explorer, for example, represents curiosity, openness, and a desire for growth. When relationships evolve, whether through life transitions, personal growth, or external challenges, the explorer archetype helps us adapt to these changes with a sense of curiosity rather than fear. We approach change as an opportunity for deeper connection and understanding rather than a threat to the relationship's stability. Relationships often mirror the archetypes we have not fully integrated within ourselves. For example, if we have not embraced the archetype of the king or queen, representing leadership, sovereignty, and personal power, we may attract people who seem controlling or dominant. These relationships offer an opportunity to reclaim the king or queen within us, stepping into our own sense of authority and self-governance rather than relying on others to lead us. As we continue to explore the role of archetypes in relationships, it becomes clear that these patterns are not fixed. They evolve as we grow and as our relationships deepen. The more we become aware of these archetypal forces, the more we can consciously choose how to engage with others. Relationships no longer feel like a series of unconscious reactions, but become opportunities for growth, connection, and self-discovery. Understanding archetypes gives us the language to articulate the deeper forces at play in our relationships. It allows us to move beyond surface-level conflicts or misunderstandings and see the underlying patterns that shape our interactions. By working with these archetypes consciously, we open the door to more meaningful, transformative relationships that reflect our true selves. As we integrate these insights into our daily lives, we become more aware of the roles we play and the energy we bring to our relationships. This awareness empowers us to break free from unconscious patterns and step into relationships with a deeper sense of purpose and authenticity. We no longer rely on others to fulfill unmet needs, but approach relationships from a place of wholeness, balance, and self-awareness. Ultimately, understanding the power of archetypes is not just about improving our relationships with others, it's about deepening our relationship with ourselves. The more we understand these universal patterns, the more we connect with the core of who we are. This self-awareness transforms every interaction, allowing us to create relationships that are not only fulfilling, but also aligned with our highest potential. As we continue this journey, we realize that relationships are not just external connections, but reflections of the archetypal energies that reside within us. Having explored how Jung's archetypes shape our relationships and help us understand ourselves and others more deeply, we now turn to a subject that strikes at the heart of personal transformation: our fears. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions we experience, and it can dictate the course of our lives in ways that are often hidden. Jung's philosophy teaches us that confronting these fears is not only necessary, but essential for achieving true happiness and self-realization. The fears we run from are often the very things that hold the key to our personal freedom. Fear doesn't always present itself in obvious ways. It often hides behind excuses, procrastination, avoidance, or even anger. When fear remains unexamined, it becomes a silent barrier, blocking us from opportunities and experiences that could bring fulfillment and growth. Jung believed that facing our fears is one of the most courageous acts we can undertake. It is through this act that we reclaim control over our lives and begin the journey toward true self-realization. In many cultures, fear is seen as something to be avoided at all costs. We are taught to stay away from the things that scare us, to seek safety and comfort But this mindset can trap us in a small, limited version of life. When we avoid fear, we also avoid growth. Jung's teachings remind us that fear is not something to be eliminated, but something to be confronted and understood. It is only by facing our fears that we can transcend them and move toward a more expansive, fulfilling existence. One of the ways fear manifests is through a fear of failure. Whether it's in our careers, relationships, or personal goals, the thought of failing can be paralyzing. But Jung teaches us that failure is not the enemy, it's a necessary part of growth. In Nigeria, where social and family pressures can be intense, the fear of failure often stops people from pursuing their true passions or taking risks that could lead to success. But what if, instead of seeing failure as something to be ashamed of, we viewed it as a stepping stone to personal growth and achievement? Facing the fear of failure requires us to let go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is rooted in the belief that we must always get things right, that mistakes are unacceptable. But this belief keeps us trapped, unable to take the bold steps needed for transformation. By confronting the fear of failure, we open ourselves up to the possibility of learning from our mistakes and growing stronger through them. It is in our failures that we often find our greatest lessons and opportunities for growth. Another fear that holds many people back is the fear of rejection. This fear often stems from a deep need for acceptance and belonging, whether within our families, communities, or social circles. In societies that place a strong emphasis on community, like many cultures in Africa, the fear of being judged or ostracized can prevent individuals from speaking their truth or living authentically. However, Jung's philosophy shows us that the fear of rejection is often rooted in our own insecurities and unresolved issues. Confronting the fear of rejection means learning to stand in our own truth, regardless of how others perceive us. It involves developing a strong sense of self-worth, one that is not dependent on external validation. When we face this fear, we begin to live more authentically, attracting relationships and opportunities that align with who we truly are. The people who reject us are often mirrors of our own fears, and by embracing rejection, we learn to embrace ourselves more fully. Fear can also manifest as a fear of the unknown. In a rapidly changing world, where uncertainty is a constant, this fear has become more pronounced. Whether it's the fear of starting a new job, moving to a new city, or entering into a new relationship, the fear of what lies ahead can prevent us from taking steps toward change. Jung's teachings remind us that the unknown is not something to be feared, but something to be explored. It is in the unknown that we find new possibilities, new experiences, and new ways of being. Confronting the fear of the unknown requires trust in ourselves and trust in the process of life. It requires us to release the need for control and certainty, embracing the idea that life is unpredictable and that this unpredictability is what makes it rich and meaningful. When we face the fear of the unknown, we step into a space of curiosity and openness, allowing life to unfold in ways we could never have imagined. One of the most profound fears we all face is the fear of death. In many African cultures, death is seen as a natural part of life, yet it still holds a powerful grip on our consciousness. Jung believed that the fear of death is ultimately a fear of the unknown, and that by confronting this fear, we come to a deeper understanding of life itself. When we face our mortality, we gain clarity about what truly matters and begin to live with greater purpose and intention. Facing the fear of death also leads us to explore the idea of legacy, what we leave behind when we are gone. This can be particularly resonant in cultures where family and lineage are highly valued. By confronting the fear of death, we not only come to terms with our own mortality, but also begin to focus on the impact we want to have on the world. It prompts us to live in a way that reflects our deepest values and aspirations. Fear often keeps us stuck in patterns of avoidance, but it is only by confronting these patterns that we can break free from them. One way to do this is by developing self-awareness. When we become aware of the fears that are driving our behaviors, we can begin to address them head-on. Jung teaches that self-awareness is the key to unlocking our potential and overcoming the obstacles that fear places in our path. Another common fear is the fear of change. Many people are comfortable with the status quo, even when it is no longer serving them. The thought of stepping outside of their comfort zone is terrifying, so they remain stuck in the same routines, relationships, and ways of thinking. But Jung reminds us that change is a natural part of life, and resisting it only leads to stagnation. When we confront the fear of change, we allow ourselves to grow, evolve, and discover new aspects of ourselves. The fear of change often stems from a desire for security. People cling to what they know because it feels safe, even if it is not fulfilling. But true security comes not from external circumstances, but from within. By facing the fear of change, we develop inner resilience and adaptability, qualities that allow us to navigate life's uncertainties with confidence and grace. Fear can also be a teacher, showing us where we need to grow. When we face our fears, we begin to understand their root causes, whether it's childhood experiences, societal pressures, or personal insecurities. Jung believed that fear is a gateway to self-discovery, revealing the parts of ourselves that we need to heal and integrate. By exploring our fears, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Fear is often a signal that we are on the verge of something important. It arises when we are about to step into the unknown, take a risk, or challenge ourselves in new ways. Instead of running from fear, we can learn to embrace it as a sign that we are on the path to growth. Jung's philosophy teaches that fear is not an obstacle to be overcome, but a guide that leads us toward our true potential. As we confront our fears, we begin to realize that many of them are illusions. The things we feared the most often turn out to be less frightening than we had imagined. By facing these fears, we strip them of their power and reclaim our sense of agency. We realize that we are capable of handling much more than we previously thought, and this realization gives us the confidence to continue facing new challenges. When we avoid fear, we give it control over our lives. It shapes our decisions, our relationships, and our sense of self-worth. But when we face fear head-on, we take back that control. We begin to live from a place of empowerment rather than fear, making choices that align with our true desires and values. Confronting fear is an act of self-liberation, freeing us from the limitations that have held us back for so long. Through this process, we come to understand that fear is not something to be feared. It is something to be embraced. It is a natural part of the human experience, and by facing it, we unlock new levels of freedom, joy, and self-realization. Jung's philosophy teaches us that fear is not the enemy, but a companion on the journey to becoming our truest selves. As you continue on this path, remember that confronting fear is a journey, not a destination. It requires courage, self-compassion, and a willingness to step into the unknown. But with each fear you face, you grow stronger, more resilient, and more connected to your true purpose. Having explored how facing fears is essential for unlocking true freedom and growth, we now turn to one of the most profound concepts in Jungian psychology: individuation. This process is the heart of self-discovery, where we integrate the many layers of our conscious and unconscious mind to become whole. The journey of individuation is not about perfection, but about embracing every part of who we are, ultimately leading to a life that feels authentic and filled with purpose. It's the path of self-realization, a journey where we learn not just who we are on the surface, but who we truly are beneath it all. Individuation is not a goal to achieve, but a lifelong process. It is the continuous unfolding of the self, where the conscious mind and unconscious are brought into harmony. This process requires a deep, honest exploration of the parts of yourself you've yet to acknowledge, both the strengths and the vulnerabilities. It is about unifying the various aspects of your personality that may have felt fragmented or out of alignment. As you walk this path, you will begin to see how these pieces fit together, creating a fuller picture of who you are meant to be. The journey of individuation begins when you stop identifying solely with your persona, the mask you wear for the world. The persona is a necessary part of life. It helps you function within society and meet the expectations placed upon you. But it is not the whole story. The danger arises when you start to believe that the persona is the true self, ignoring the rich complexity of your inner world. Individuation asks you to step beyond the mask and connect with the deeper layers of your psyche. As you let go of the attachment to your persona, you begin to encounter the parts of yourself that have been hidden or repressed. The unconscious mind, with its vast reservoir of memories, desires, and emotions, starts to reveal itself. It can be unsettling at first, as you may come across aspects of yourself that you've long denied. But this is where true growth occurs. The parts of you that have been buried are often the keys to your wholeness, containing the very qualities that will lead you to your true self. Individuation requires a willingness to confront these hidden parts with compassion and understanding. As you begin to integrate them, you'll notice how they add depth and richness to your personality. You become more than just the roles you play in life. You become a fuller, more complete version of yourself. This integration brings with it a sense of inner peace, as the tension between the conscious and unconscious mind begins to dissolve. Throughout this process, you may encounter resistance. The unconscious can be elusive, and the ego may resist change. After all, it is the ego's job to maintain the status quo and protect the self from perceived threats. But individuation requires you to push through this resistance, trusting that what lies beyond it is a deeper truth. By doing so, you unlock new layers of self-awareness and personal power. This journey is not just about introspection, but about bringing what you've discovered into the world. As you integrate the conscious and unconscious, your outer life begins to shift. Your relationships, career, and choices start to align more closely with your inner truth. You may find that old patterns of behavior fall away, replaced by actions that feel more authentic. This is the true power of individuation, living in alignment with who you really are. One of the most important aspects of individuation is the integration of opposites. Throughout life, we are often conditioned to embrace certain traits while rejecting others. We may strive to be strong while ignoring our vulnerability, or focus on rationality while suppressing our emotions. But Jung teaches that true self-discovery comes from integrating these opposites, rather than denying one side of yourself. By accepting both the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine, you create a more balanced and harmonious self. The process of integrating opposites can be challenging because it requires you to confront parts of yourself that you've been taught to avoid. But as you embrace these opposing forces within you, you realize that they are not enemies. They are complementary. Strength is deepened by vulnerability, and rationality is enriched by emotion. This integration allows you to navigate life with greater wisdom and flexibility, no longer confined by rigid identities. Individuation also invites you to explore your dreams as a powerful tool for self-discovery. Jung believed that dreams are a direct link to the unconscious, offering symbolic insights into your inner world. By paying attention to your dreams, you gain access to parts of yourself that are often hidden during waking life. These dreams can reveal unresolved conflicts, suppressed desires, and untapped potential, all of which play a crucial role in the individuation process. Through this exploration of dreams, you begin to understand the language of your unconscious mind. The symbols and images that arise in dreams are not random. They hold meaning and offer guidance on your journey toward wholeness. By engaging with your dreams, you strengthen the connection between your conscious and unconscious mind, bringing greater clarity to your waking life. As you continue on the path of individuation, you begin to notice how your relationships change. No longer driven by unconscious patterns or projections, your connections with others become more authentic. You are able to relate to people from a place of wholeness rather than need. This shift allows you to build deeper, more meaningful relationships, where both parties are seen and accepted for who they truly are. Individuation also leads to a deeper sense of purpose. As you align with your true self, you become more attuned to the path you are meant to walk in life. This sense of purpose is not something external that you must chase, but something that arises naturally from within. It is the fulfillment of your unique potential, the expression of your true nature in the world. The process of individuation is deeply personal, but it is also universal. It connects you not only to yourself, but to the collective unconscious, the shared reservoir of human experience. As you go through your own journey of self-discovery, you tap into the wisdom of those who have come before you. The archetypes, symbols, and myths that have shaped human history are also part of your journey, guiding you toward greater understanding and self-awareness. In the process of individuation, you also develop a stronger relationship with your inner wisdom. This inner guide, often referred to as the self in Jungian psychology, represents the totality of who you are. It is the part of you that transcends the ego, holding the blueprint for your highest potential. As you move through the stages of individuation, you strengthen your connection to this inner wisdom, allowing it to guide your decisions and actions. This inner guidance often comes in subtle forms: a gut feeling, a sense of knowing, or a quiet voice within. By learning to trust this inner wisdom, you begin to make choices that align with your true self. You no longer rely solely on external validation or societal expectations, but instead follow the path that feels right for you. This is one of the most empowering aspects of individuation, the realization that you have everything you need within you to navigate life with purpose and authenticity. As you continue this journey, you may find that individuation requires a certain level of solitude. In a world that is constantly demanding your attention, taking time to reflect and connect with your inner world becomes essential. This solitude is not about isolation, but about creating space for introspection and self-discovery. It is in these moments of quiet reflection that you can hear the whispers of your unconscious and gain clarity about your path. Through individuation, you also develop a deeper understanding of the cycles of life. You come to see that growth is not linear, but cyclical, with periods of expansion followed by periods of contraction. There will be moments of great insight and progress, followed by times of challenge and reflection. This cyclical nature is not a sign of failure, but a natural part of the individuation process. Each cycle brings you closer to your true self, deepening your understanding and wisdom. Individuation teaches you to embrace these cycles with patience and grace. You learn that there is no rush to reach a final destination because the journey itself is the destination. Each step on the path offers its own lessons, and each challenge you face becomes an opportunity for growth. As you embrace this process, you begin to trust in the timing of your life, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The process of individuation also brings a sense of inner freedom. As you integrate the various aspects of yourself, you release the need to conform to external expectations or societal norms. You become more comfortable in your own skin, no longer feeling the pressure to be someone you're not. This inner freedom allows you to live with greater authenticity, expressing your true self without fear of judgment or rejection. Through individuation, you also come to understand that life is not about achieving perfection, but about becoming whole. Wholeness is not about erasing your flaws or weaknesses, but about accepting them as part of your unique journey. It is through this acceptance that you find peace, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, and that every part of you, light and dark, strong and vulnerable, is worthy of love and acceptance. As you move through the individuation process, you begin to see that your true self is not something you need to create. It is already within you. The journey is about uncovering, remembering, and reclaiming what has always been there. This realization brings with it a deep sense of relief and joy as you come to understand that you are enough, just as you are. Individuation is a journey of self-empowerment. As you integrate the conscious and unconscious aspects of yourself, you step into your own power, no longer reliant on external validation or approval. You become the author of your own life, making choices that align with your true self and living in accordance with your deepest values. This sense of empowerment is one of the greatest gifts of individuation, as it allows you to navigate life with confidence, purpose, and authenticity. As we move from the journey of individuation and self-discovery, we arrive at one of the most mysterious and profound aspects of Carl Jung's work, our dreams. For Jung, dreams were far more than fleeting images or random thoughts during sleep. They were a direct communication from the unconscious mind. These symbols, stories, and emotions that come to life in our dreams hold the potential to unlock parts of ourselves that we rarely access in waking life. They are the key to understanding our deepest desires, fears, and the hidden potential we carry within us. Dreams have always held a powerful influence on human experience. Throughout history, cultures have viewed dreams as messages from the divine, glimpses into the future, or portals into the soul. Jung's approach was to view dreams as windows into the unconscious, showing us what our conscious minds cannot yet see. They bring to the surface unresolved issues, unmet desires, and personal strengths that we have yet to acknowledge. By paying attention to our dreams, we tap into a deeper well of wisdom and insight, one that can guide us toward greater self-awareness and empowerment. One of the reasons dreams are so powerful is that they bypass the defenses of the conscious mind. During waking life, we are often guarded, controlling how we perceive ourselves and how we are perceived by others. But in dreams, those defenses fall away. The unconscious speaks in symbols, bypassing the logical, rational part of the mind to deliver truths that we might otherwise reject or overlook. These symbols are often strange or puzzling, but they hold meaning if we are willing to explore them. The challenge with dreams is that they are not always straightforward. The language of the unconscious is symbolic, filled with metaphors, archetypes, and images that may seem nonsensical at first glance. However, by analyzing these symbols, we begin to unravel the deeper meanings behind them. For Jung, this process of interpretation was essential to personal growth. The symbols in our dreams are like puzzle pieces, and by putting them together, we reveal the hidden aspects of our psyche. Each dream offers us a unique opportunity to understand ourselves better. For example, recurring dreams often signal unresolved conflicts or emotions that we haven't addressed in waking life. These dreams are the unconscious mind's way of telling us that something needs our attention. By reflecting on these dreams and understanding their significance, we can identify the areas in our lives where we are stuck and where change is needed. Dreams also reveal the parts of ourselves that we have neglected. Whether it's creativity, confidence, or a particular talent, these aspects often show up in dreams as forgotten treasures waiting to be reclaimed. In a world that prioritizes rationality and external success, it's easy to lose sight of these inner gifts. Dreams remind us that there is more to us than what we present to the world. They encourage us to embrace the parts of ourselves that may have been overshadowed or ignored. One of the most intriguing aspects of dreams is how they reveal our fears and vulnerabilities. These are often the parts of ourselves we are reluctant to face. In dreams, we may confront situations that trigger fear or discomfort, being chased, falling, or losing something valuable. These dreams are not meant to terrify us, but to bring our attention to the fears we avoid in waking life. By facing these fears in our dreams, we learn how to confront them in reality, gaining strength and resilience in the process. Jung also believed that dreams offer guidance during times of transition or uncertainty. When faced with major life changes, whether in relationships, career, or personal growth, dreams can provide clarity and direction. They often reflect our innermost desires, showing us what path to take or what choices to make. In this way, dreams serve as a compass, guiding us toward our true purpose and potential. The archetypes that Jung explored in his work frequently appear in our dreams. These universal symbols, such as the hero, the shadow, and the wise old man, offer insight into the different aspects of our personality. For instance, encountering the hero in a dream may suggest that we are ready to face a challenge or step into a leadership role. On the other hand, meeting the shadow may indicate that there are parts of ourselves we need to confront and integrate. The beauty of dreams is that they offer us the chance to engage in dialogue with our unconscious mind. Jung developed a technique called active imagination, which allows us to interact with the symbols and figures in our dreams. By doing so, we gain deeper insight into their meaning and how they relate to our waking life. This process of dialogue helps us bridge the gap between the conscious and unconscious mind, leading to greater self-awareness and empowerment. Dreams are also a source of creativity. Many artists, writers, and inventors throughout history have credited their dreams with inspiring their greatest works. This is because dreams allow us to access the creative part of our mind, the part that is not bound by logic or reason. In dreams, we are free to explore new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new solutions to problems. By tapping into this creative potential, we unlock a wellspring of inspiration and innovation. Jung viewed dreams as an essential tool for psychological healing. When we experience trauma or emotional pain, our conscious mind may try to suppress these feelings, but they often resurface in our dreams. These dreams give us the opportunity to process and heal from our wounds in a safe space. They provide insight into the emotions we may be avoiding, allowing us to confront and release them. As we begin to understand the significance of our dreams, we also start to notice patterns. These patterns often reflect the recurring themes or issues in our waking life. By identifying these patterns, we gain a clearer understanding of the areas where we need to grow, change, or heal. Dreams provide a mirror, reflecting back to us the parts of our lives that need our attention. In addition to personal insights, dreams can also connect us to the collective unconscious, the shared reservoir of human experience that Jung believed we all have access to. In this way, dreams tap into universal themes and symbols that transcend our individual lives. When we dream, we are not just exploring our personal psyche, but also the larger human experience. This connection to the collective unconscious helps us understand that we are part of something much greater than ourselves. Dreams can also reveal the potential paths we have yet to explore. They show us the possibilities for our lives that we may not have considered. Whether it's a new career direction, a creative pursuit, or a personal goal, dreams often reflect our untapped potential. By paying attention to these dreams, we gain the confidence to pursue our passions and step into our true power. For Jung, the goal of dream analysis was not just to understand the meaning of the dream, but to integrate its message into waking life. This integration is key to unlocking our true potential. When we take the lessons from our dreams and apply them to our daily lives, we begin to make meaningful changes. We become more aligned with our inner truth, and our actions reflect a deeper understanding of ourselves. The integration of dreams into waking life also brings a sense of empowerment. We realize that we are not at the mercy of our unconscious mind, but can actively engage with it to create the life we desire. Dreams provide us with the insights and tools needed to overcome challenges, make informed decisions, and live with purpose. As we explore our dreams, we begin to notice the synchronicities in our lives. These meaningful coincidences, which Jung referred to as synchronicity, often occur when we are paying attention to the messages of our dreams. These moments of synchronicity remind us that we are connected to something greater, that the universe is guiding us toward our true potential. Dreams also help us connect with our emotional landscape. In waking life, we often suppress or ignore our emotions, particularly those that are uncomfortable. But in dreams, our emotions are laid bare. We experience joy, fear, anger, and sadness in their rawest form. By exploring these emotions in our dreams, we gain a better understanding of how they influence our waking life. The exploration of dreams also invites us to examine our relationships. The people who appear in our dreams often reflect different aspects of ourselves or unresolved issues in our relationships. By analyzing these dreams, we gain insight into the dynamics at play in our connections with others, helping us navigate our relationships with greater awareness and clarity. Dreams also provide a space for us to confront our inner conflicts. Whether it's a moral dilemma, a difficult decision, or an internal struggle, these conflicts often play out in our dreams. By facing these conflicts in the dream world, we can work through them in a way that feels safe and manageable, preparing us to address them in waking life. In many ways, dreams are a rehearsal for life. They allow us to explore different scenarios, try out new roles, and test the waters of our potential. By engaging with our dreams, we gain the courage to step into new roles and take on new challenges in waking life. This is how dreams help us unlock our true potential, by giving us the space to explore, grow, and transform. The messages in our dreams are often subtle, but they are always there, waiting for us to listen. The more we pay attention to our dreams, the more we develop our ability to understand their language. This process of listening to our dreams builds a stronger connection to our unconscious mind, allowing us to access the wisdom and guidance it has to offer. Dreams are not just about self-reflection, they are about action. When we take the insights from our dreams and use them to make changes in our waking life, we unlock our true potential. We begin to live in alignment with our deepest desires and our highest self. This is the ultimate gift of dreams, the ability to transform our inner world and, in turn, create a life that reflects our true essence. Having explored the rich insights that dreams offer into our unconscious mind and potential, we now turn to a central idea in Carl Jung's philosophy, the importance of embracing your inner opposites. The light and dark, the masculine and feminine, The strength and vulnerability within each of us exist as opposing forces that, when integrated, lead to a more balanced, harmonious life. Jung teaches that instead of rejecting or suppressing one side, true growth comes from finding balance between these dualities, creating wholeness and a deeper sense of peace. Each person carries within them conflicting energies. At times we gravitate toward traits that society or our upbringing tells us are more acceptable, while distancing ourselves from those seen as undesirable. For example, we may embrace confidence while neglecting our sensitivity, or we might highlight rationality at the expense of emotional intelligence. But these opposing traits, rather than working against one another, can be complementary when brought into balance. Jung's idea of individuation emphasizes this need to integrate both sides of our nature to live authentically. Balancing opposites within ourselves is not about choosing one over the other. It's about realizing that both are necessary for a full, enriched life. We need both light and dark, just as we need moments of strength as well as vulnerability. When we embrace both sides, we start to see how they support one another. For example, true courage often arises when we acknowledge our fear, just as wisdom grows when we accept our ignorance. By allowing these dualities to coexist, we tap into a deeper well of wisdom and strength. One of the most profound dualities Jung speaks of is the balance between light and shadow. The light represents the aspects of ourselves that we are proud of, our achievements, kindness, talents, and confidence. The shadow, on the other hand, contains the traits we suppress: anger, jealousy, insecurities, and fears. While the light is easy to embrace, the shadow often gets pushed away, hidden from view. But Jung teaches that it is only through acknowledging and integrating the shadow that we can become whole. The darkness within us contains insights and strengths that are vital to our personal growth. As we face our shadow, we begin to understand that it is not our enemy. The emotions and traits we've been taught to suppress or reject have value. They hold the key to parts of ourselves that we've neglected. For instance, anger, when acknowledged, can be transformed into a source of motivation and self-protection. Similarly, sadness, when fully embraced, can lead to deeper empathy and connection with others. By bringing these darker aspects of ourselves into the light, we create a more harmonious inner world. Another powerful duality is the balance between the masculine and feminine energies within us. Jung's concept of the anima, the feminine aspect within men, and the animus, the masculine aspect within women, illustrates how each person, regardless of gender, carries both masculine and feminine traits. In many societies, we are often encouraged to emphasize one energy over the other, depending on our gender. However, Jung believed that both energies are essential for a balanced, fulfilling life. The masculine energy is often associated with qualities such as assertiveness, logic, and action, while the feminine energy is linked to intuition, nurturing, and creativity. When we over-identify with one side, we may find ourselves out of balance. For example, someone who leans too heavily into masculine energy may struggle to connect with their emotions or find themselves constantly striving without finding time for rest and reflection. Conversely, someone who is overly immersed in feminine energy may struggle with boundaries or assertiveness. The integration of both energies allows us to be both strong and compassionate, rational and intuitive. Embracing these inner opposites leads to more harmonious relationships as well. When we integrate the masculine and feminine within ourselves, we stop seeking these qualities solely in others. We no longer need to rely on external relationships to fulfill what we believe is missing within us. Instead, we approach relationships from a place of balance and wholeness, allowing us to connect with others more deeply and authentically. The light and dark within us also shape how we interact with the world around us. When we embrace both aspects of ourselves, we develop a more compassionate view of others. We no longer project our shadow onto those around us, blaming them for traits we refuse to see in ourselves. Instead, we recognize that everyone carries both light and dark, and we approach others with greater understanding and empathy. This process of balancing opposites also extends to how we navigate life's challenges. When we embrace our inner opposites, we become more adaptable and resilient. We are able to draw on different aspects of ourselves depending on what the situation requires. For instance, in moments of difficulty, we can call upon both our strength and our vulnerability, knowing that one does not cancel out the other. We learn that it is possible to be both brave and afraid, to be both strong and tender. Jung's teachings also remind us that this balance is not static. Life is constantly shifting, and so too must our relationship with these inner opposites. There will be times when we need to lean more heavily on one energy or aspect of ourselves, and times when the opposite is true. The key is to remain flexible, to trust that we have access to the full range of our inner resources, and to draw on them as needed. The integration of opposites is essential for personal growth, but it is also a path to greater self-acceptance. By embracing both our light and shadow, we come to see ourselves as whole, complex beings. We no longer feel the need to deny or hide parts of ourselves. Instead, we stand in our truth, accepting that we are both flawed and capable, both strong and fragile. This self-acceptance is one of the greatest gifts of embracing our inner opposites. As we work to integrate these dualities, we also begin to see how they show up in different areas of our lives. For instance, in our careers, we may need to balance ambition with humility or logic with creativity. In our personal lives, we may need to balance independence with connection or action with rest. The more we practice integrating opposites, the more balanced our external lives become, reflecting the harmony we've cultivated within. This inner balance also affects our sense of purpose. When we are out of balance, we may feel pulled in different directions, unsure of what path to take. But as we integrate our inner opposites, we gain clarity. We are no longer divided within ourselves, and this unity allows us to move forward with confidence and purpose. We begin to live in alignment with our true nature, making decisions that reflect the full spectrum of who we are. Jung's idea of embracing inner opposites is not just about individual growth. It's also about how we engage with the world. When we integrate the opposites within us, we become more open to different perspectives and experiences. We no longer see the world in black and white, but appreciate the nuances and complexities that exist in life. This openness leads to greater understanding, tolerance, and compassion for others. At the heart of Jung's philosophy is the belief that balance leads to wholeness. The process of integrating opposites is not about achieving perfection, but about becoming complete. It is about honoring every part of ourselves, even the parts that feel contradictory or uncomfortable. This integration brings a deep sense of peace and fulfillment, as we no longer feel the need to reject or deny any aspect of who we are. In the process of balancing opposites, we also develop a deeper connection to our intuition. Intuition is often associated with the feminine energy, and when we embrace this aspect of ourselves, we gain access to a wellspring of inner wisdom. This intuition helps guide us through life's challenges, offering insights that the rational mind may not always see. By balancing logic with intuition, we make decisions that are both informed and aligned with our deeper truth. As we continue this journey of integration, we also come to appreciate the cycles of life. Just as there are cycles of light and dark within us, there are cycles in the world around us. There are times of growth and expansion, followed by times of rest and reflection. By embracing these cycles, We learn to move with the flow of life rather than resisting it. We understand that both light and dark are necessary for growth and that each phase has its own value. This process of balancing opposites is not always easy. It requires us to confront the parts of ourselves we've been taught to hide or reject. It asks us to embrace vulnerability, uncertainty, and discomfort. But in doing so, we discover a deeper sense of strength and resilience. We realize that we are capable of holding both light and shadow, both masculine and feminine, without being overwhelmed by either. Embracing our inner opposites also leads to greater emotional balance. When we suppress certain emotions, they often resurface in unhealthy ways. But by allowing ourselves to feel the full range of emotions, both positive and negative, we create emotional equilibrium. We learn that it is possible to feel joy and sadness, love and anger, without being consumed by any one emotion. This emotional balance allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease. As we integrate these inner opposites, we also develop a deeper sense of self-compassion. We stop judging ourselves for not being perfect and instead embrace the complexity of who we are. We understand that both our strengths and our weaknesses are part of what makes us human. This self-compassion allows us to show up more fully in our lives without fear of judgment or rejection. Through this process of integration, we also become more aware of the interconnectedness of all things. Just as light and dark are two sides of the same coin, so too are the experiences and relationships in our lives. We begin to see how everything is connected, how each experience contributes to our growth and understanding. This awareness brings a sense of harmony as we recognize that all aspects of life, both the joyful and the challenging, are necessary for our evolution. Ultimately, embracing our inner opposites leads to a more balanced, harmonious life. It allows us to live with greater authenticity, to connect with others more deeply, and to navigate the world with a sense of peace and purpose. This balance is not something we achieve once and for all, but something we continuously cultivate throughout our lives. It is the dance between light and shadow, masculine and feminine, strength and vulnerability that brings us closer to wholeness. Having explored the balance of opposites within ourselves and the harmony it brings, we now turn to a profound concept in Jungian philosophy that echoes through every individual's life: the hero's journey. Jung saw life as a continuous cycle of challenges, growth and transformation, where each of us embarks on our own unique journey. This journey is not just an external quest, but an internal adventure where we face obstacles, confront our deepest fears, and ultimately return transformed. Understanding how this timeless concept applies to your own challenges can guide you to overcome life's obstacles and emerge stronger. The hero's journey begins with a call to adventure, often an unexpected event or realization that disrupts the comfort of the ordinary. This can take the form of a personal crisis, a difficult decision, or a moment when you realize that the path you are on no longer aligns with who you are. At first, this call may be met with resistance, a reluctance to leave behind the familiar. But it is precisely in answering this call that the journey toward growth begins. When you take the first step into the unknown, you begin to encounter trials and challenges. These obstacles are not just external, they are reflections of your inner struggles, fears, insecurities, and doubts. Each challenge you face on this journey is an opportunity for growth. It is through these trials that you begin to discover your inner strength, resilience, and resourcefulness. In Jung's view, the trials of the hero's journey are necessary to strip away the false layers of self and reveal your true potential. One of the most powerful lessons of the hero's journey is that obstacles are not meant to stop you, they are meant to transform you. Each setback, disappointment, or failure is a stepping stone toward greater understanding and wisdom. While the journey is difficult, it is also deeply rewarding. The challenges you face on this path teach you more about yourself than comfort and ease ever could. They reveal the depth of your character and the power of your will. Throughout the hero's journey, there are moments when the obstacles seem overwhelming, when the path forward is unclear. These moments are known as the abyss, a time of darkness and uncertainty. It is in these moments that many heroes are tempted to give up, to return to the safety of the known. But it is also in these moments that the greatest growth occurs. When you confront the abyss within yourself, you confront the fears and doubts that have been holding you back. Emerging from this dark place marks a turning point in the journey where the hero begins to understand their true purpose. A key aspect of the hero's journey is the presence of allies and mentors, figures who provide guidance, support, and wisdom along the way. In your own life, these mentors may appear as friends, family members, or even strangers who offer insight when you need it most. These figures help you see what you cannot see on your own, offering encouragement and perspective when the journey feels impossible. Their presence reminds you that while the journey is your own, you are never truly alone. But just as there are allies on this journey, there are also enemies, both external and internal. These enemies may take the form of negative thoughts, self-doubt, or toxic relationships that seek to pull you off course. The challenge is to recognize these enemies for what they are, distractions from your true path, and to stay focused on your journey. By overcoming these internal and external obstacles, you gain a deeper understanding of your own power and resilience. One of the most transformative aspects of the hero's journey is the moment of realization when you understand that the greatest enemy you face is often yourself. The doubts, fears, and limitations you've placed on yourself are what hold you back the most. By confronting these inner obstacles, you begin to dismantle the barriers you've built around your own potential. This self-realization is the key to unlocking your inner strength and moving forward with greater clarity and purpose. The journey is also one of self-discovery. As you face life's obstacles, you begin to uncover hidden aspects of yourself, talents, strengths, and capacities you may not have known you possessed. The challenges you encounter serve as mirrors, reflecting back to you the parts of yourself that are waiting to be developed. Each obstacle you overcome brings you closer to your true self, helping you understand who you are at your core. Jung's concept of the hero's journey also emphasizes the importance of transformation. The person who sets out on the journey is not the same person who returns. Every obstacle, every trial changes you in some way. You gain wisdom, resilience, and a deeper understanding of life. This transformation is not just about external success. It is about inner growth. It is about becoming the person you were always meant to be. Another key lesson of the hero's journey is the power of perseverance. The path is never straight or easy, and there will be times when you feel lost or defeated. But it is in these moments that your perseverance is tested. The ability to keep moving forward, even when the way is unclear, is what defines the hero. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the resolution of your journey. As you progress through the hero's journey, you may also experience moments of revelation, times when the answers you've been seeking suddenly become clear. These moments often come after periods of struggle and confusion. They are the result of deep inner work, where you've faced your fears and doubts head-on. The clarity that comes from these revelations allows you to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and direction. The hero's journey also teaches us that failure is not the end. It is part of the process. Every great hero experiences setbacks, moments when it seems like all is lost. But these failures are not final. They are opportunities for learning, growth, and reflection. Each failure brings you closer to understanding what needs to change and how you can improve. It is through failure that you gain the wisdom needed to succeed. One of the most powerful aspects of the hero's journey is the return. After facing obstacles, trials, and transformation, the hero returns to the ordinary world, but they are no longer the same. They bring with them the wisdom and knowledge they've gained on their journey, ready to share it with others. In your own life, this return can take many forms: sharing your experiences with others, using your newfound strength to help those around you, or simply living with greater authenticity and purpose. As you return from your own hero's journey, you may find that the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable now appear as opportunities for growth. You've developed a new perspective, one that allows you to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. This shift in perspective is one of the greatest gifts of the journey, as it empowers you to face future challenges with confidence and grace. Throughout this process, you learn the importance of trust. Trust in yourself, in the journey, and in the unknown. The hero's journey requires you to step into the unknown, to take risks without knowing what lies ahead. This trust is what allows you to overcome fear and doubt, to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. The more you trust in yourself and the journey, the more you open yourself up to growth and transformation. Jung's philosophy also reminds us that the hero's journey is cyclical. Just as one journey ends, another begins. Life is a series of journeys, each one building on the last. The lessons you learn from one journey prepare you for the next. With each cycle, you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. You begin to see that life's obstacles are not meant to defeat you, but to help you grow. As you embrace the hero's journey, you begin to understand that you are the hero of your own life. The obstacles you face are unique to your path, but the principles of the journey apply to everyone. By recognizing that you are on this journey, you take ownership of your life and your growth. You become an active participant in your own transformation, rather than a passive observer. The hero's journey also teaches us the importance of faith, not in a religious sense, but in a belief in your own ability to overcome. The challenges you face on this journey may seem daunting, but the faith that you will find a way through is what sustains you. This faith is not blind optimism. It is grounded in the knowledge that you have faced challenges before and emerged stronger. It is a belief in your own capacity for growth and transformation. Throughout the hero's journey, you also learn the value of self-compassion. The path is not always easy, and there will be times when you stumble or fall. But instead of judging yourself harshly, the journey teaches you to be kind to yourself, to recognize that growth is not linear and that setbacks are a natural part of the process. This self-compassion allows you to keep going even when the journey feels difficult. As you continue on the hero's journey, you also develop a deeper sense of purpose. The challenges you face are not random. They are part of a larger process of self-discovery and growth. Each obstacle brings you closer to understanding your true purpose, the reason you are on this path. This sense of purpose gives you the strength to overcome any challenge, knowing that it is leading you toward a greater understanding of yourself and your place in the world. One of the greatest lessons of the hero's journey is that transformation is not just about changing yourself. It is about contributing to the world around you. The wisdom and strength you gain from your journey are not just for your benefit, but for the benefit of others. As you grow and transform, you become a source of inspiration and guidance for those around you. This is the ultimate gift of the hero's journey, the ability to use your own experiences to uplift and support others on their journeys. As you face the obstacles in your life, remember that you are not just overcoming challenges, you are becoming the hero of your own story. Every trial, every failure, every victory is part of your journey toward becoming the person you are meant to be. The hero's journey is not about reaching a final destination, but about the continuous process of growth, transformation, and self-discovery. As we journey through life's challenges and obstacles, drawing on the strength of the hero's journey, we discover that much of our transformation begins within the depths of our own unconscious mind. Jung believed that the unconscious is not a silent, passive force, but a realm filled with voices, symbols, and truths waiting to be uncovered. One of the most powerful tools he developed to engage with this inner world is active imagination, a technique that opens the door to meaningful dialogue with the unconscious. By using this method, you can unlock profound insights that not only reveal hidden aspects of yourself, but also offer pathways to personal transformation. Active imagination is not simply daydreaming or passively letting thoughts drift. It is a deliberate engagement with the contents of your unconscious mind, allowing these thoughts, images, and feelings to rise to the surface and then interacting with them consciously. In this process, you become an active participant in your own inner world, exploring the symbols and figures that emerge, rather than simply observing them from a distance. The process creates a bridge between your conscious and unconscious mind, inviting deeper understanding and integration. This technique often begins with a simple starting point, a memory, a feeling, or an image that has surfaced in your mind. By focusing on this point, you allow it to develop and take shape, much like allowing a dream to unfold while remaining aware of its content. The goal is to explore whatever arises without judgment, welcoming each thought or image as a valuable part of the conversation between your conscious and unconscious selves. In this space, you can encounter unexpected insights, unresolved emotions, or hidden desires that have long been buried in the unconscious. One of the most fascinating aspects of active imagination is how it reveals the symbolic language of the unconscious. The images and scenarios that arise often speak in metaphors, much like dreams, and these symbols carry layers of meaning. For example, you might encounter an animal, a person, or a landscape that feels familiar yet mysterious. By engaging with these symbols, asking questions, observing how they change, you begin to unravel their deeper significance and what they might represent in your life. Through active imagination, you also come face to face with the figures of your unconscious mind. These figures may appear as archetypes, embodying different aspects of your personality, or as representations of emotions or conflicts that need resolution. Engaging with these figures is like having a dialogue with different parts of yourself. For instance, you might encounter a figure that represents your fear or anger, and by interacting with it, you can gain insights into why these emotions have taken hold in your life. This process often brings up powerful emotions. The unconscious holds much of what we have repressed, fears, desires, traumas, and longings that have not been fully expressed. Through active imagination, you give these emotions a voice, allowing them to be acknowledged and understood. This is a critical step in healing, as it transforms what was once hidden into something that can be worked through and integrated into your conscious awareness. One of the key benefits of active imagination is the sense of agency it brings. Unlike dreams, where you are a passive observer of the unconscious, active imagination allows you to actively engage with the material that arises. This sense of interaction gives you the power to influence the direction of your inner journey, making it a collaborative process between the conscious and unconscious. It is through this active participation that true transformation begins to unfold. Another powerful aspect of active imagination is the way it allows you to explore unresolved conflicts. The unconscious often holds on to past experiences, especially those that have caused pain or confusion. By bringing these memories and emotions to the surface, you can work through them in a safe, imaginative space. This process helps release old wounds and patterns that may have been affecting your life without you even realizing it. Active imagination also invites creativity into your life. The unconscious mind is a wellspring of creativity, filled with untapped ideas, images, and possibilities. As you engage with it through active imagination, you open the door to new ways of thinking and problem-solving. This creative energy can inspire artistic pursuits, innovative ideas, or new perspectives on challenges you face. The process not only enriches your inner world, but also enhances your ability to think outside the box in your daily life. As you work with active imagination, you may also notice a deepening of your intuition. The unconscious mind is deeply intuitive, often sensing things that your conscious mind has yet to recognize. By engaging with the unconscious in this way, you strengthen the connection between your conscious mind and your intuition, allowing you to trust your inner guidance more fully. This heightened intuition can help you navigate life's complexities with greater clarity and confidence. Active imagination also serves as a tool for self-integration. Much like Jung's concept of individuation, this process helps you bring together the fragmented parts of yourself into a cohesive whole. By engaging with the various figures, symbols, and emotions that arise, you begin to integrate the parts of yourself that have been hidden or rejected. This leads to a greater sense of wholeness as you embrace all aspects of who you are, both the light and the shadow. One of the most liberating aspects of active imagination is the freedom it offers to explore your inner world without the constraints of logic or reason. The unconscious does not operate by the same rules as the conscious mind. It is fluid, symbolic, and often non-linear. By letting go of the need for rational explanations, you allow yourself to dive deeper into the mysteries of your psyche, where profound truths and insights can be found. This process can also reveal the recurring patterns in your life. The unconscious mind often repeats themes and scenarios that reflect unresolved issues or unacknowledged desires. Through active imagination, you can explore these patterns and understand their origin. This awareness empowers you to break free from old habits and make conscious choices that align with your true self. Active imagination also helps you cultivate a deeper relationship with your inner world. In modern life, it's easy to become disconnected from your inner self, focusing instead on external achievements and responsibilities. But by engaging with your unconscious mind, you create space for introspection, self-reflection, and emotional healing. This practice encourages a more balanced life, where both the inner and outer worlds are given the attention they deserve. The practice of active imagination can also deepen your relationship with archetypes. As you explore the figures that emerge during these sessions, you may encounter archetypal energies such as the wise old man, the hero, or the shadow. These figures represent universal aspects of the human experience, and by engaging with them, you gain insight into how these archetypes are playing out in your own life. This awareness can guide you in navigating your journey with greater wisdom and understanding. In many ways, active imagination is a form of inner dialogue. It allows you to converse with the deeper parts of yourself, to ask questions and receive answers that come not from your rational mind, but from the depths of your unconscious. This dialogue can lead to profound insights as you gain access to knowledge and wisdom that have been hidden beneath the surface. The more you engage in this dialogue, the more attuned you become to the messages of your unconscious. The power of active imagination lies in its ability to transform. By bringing unconscious material to the surface, you can work through and release the emotions, beliefs, and patterns that have been holding you back. This process creates space for new growth, allowing you to step into a more empowered and authentic version of yourself. The transformation that occurs is not superficial. It is a deep internal shift that ripples out into every aspect of your life. As you continue to explore active imagination, you may also notice an increased sense of self-awareness. The more you engage with your unconscious mind, the more you understand the motivations, desires, and fears that drive your behavior. This self-awareness allows you to make more conscious choices rather than being driven by unconscious forces. It empowers you to live with greater intention and purpose. Through active imagination, you also develop a deeper sense of trust in yourself. As you navigate the symbols and figures of your inner world, you begin to trust your own insights and interpretations. This trust extends beyond the practice of active imagination and into your daily life, where you become more confident in your ability to understand and navigate your inner and outer worlds. Another key benefit of active imagination is the sense of inner peace it can bring. By confronting and working through the unresolved emotions and conflicts that reside in the unconscious, you release the tension and anxiety that these unresolved issues can create. This process brings a sense of resolution and calm as you clear the space within yourself for peace and clarity to emerge. Active imagination also helps you build a stronger connection to your inner wisdom. This inner wisdom is always present, but it can be difficult to access when you are disconnected from your unconscious mind. By engaging in this practice, you create a direct line of communication with your inner wisdom, allowing it to guide you in your decisions and actions. This guidance is invaluable as it comes from the deepest part of yourself, the part that knows what is best for your growth and well-being. As you engage with active imagination, you may also experience a sense of empowerment. The process of exploring your unconscious mind can be deeply empowering, as it allows you to take control of your own inner world. Instead of being at the mercy of unconscious forces, you become an active participant in your own psychological development. This sense of empowerment extends beyond the practice of active imagination and into your daily life, where you feel more capable of navigating challenges and obstacles. The practice of active imagination also encourages emotional healing. The unconscious mind often holds on to past wounds and traumas that have not been fully processed. By bringing these emotions to the surface through active imagination, you create an opportunity for healing. This process allows you to release the pain and emotional weight that you've been carrying, creating space for new growth and transformation. As you continue to work with active imagination, you may find that your dreams become more vivid and meaningful. This is because the practice strengthens the connection between your conscious and unconscious mind, making it easier for the unconscious to communicate with you through dreams. By paying attention to these dreams and using active imagination to explore their meaning, you gain even deeper insights into your inner world. Through active imagination, you also develop a deeper sense of self-compassion. As you engage with the figures and emotions that arise, you learn to accept and embrace all parts of yourself, even those that you may have previously rejected or judged. This self-compassion allows you to heal old wounds and move forward with greater self-love and acceptance. One of the most profound aspects of active imagination is the sense of unity it creates within yourself. By integrating the different parts of your psyche, the conscious and unconscious, the light and shadow, you become more whole. This sense of unity brings a deep sense of peace and fulfillment as you align with your true self. Through the practice of active imagination, you also cultivate a deeper connection to the present moment. As you engage with your unconscious mind, you are fully present in the experience, allowing yourself to explore whatever arises without distraction. This presence carries over into your daily life, helping you stay grounded and mindful in each moment. Active imagination also invites you to explore new possibilities. The unconscious mind is a realm of infinite potential, where new ideas, solutions, and perspectives are waiting to be discovered. By engaging with this potential, you open yourself up to new opportunities for growth and transformation, both in your inner world and in your external life. As you continue to practice active imagination, you will likely notice a greater sense of alignment between your inner and outer worlds. The insights and wisdom you gain from your unconscious mind begin to inform your actions, decisions, and relationships. This alignment allows you to live more authentically, with a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. Ultimately, active imagination is a powerful tool for self-discovery and transformation. By engaging with your unconscious mind, you unlock the hidden potential within yourself, gaining insights that can guide you toward a more fulfilling and empowered life. This process is not just about exploring your inner world, it's about transforming your entire life from the inside out. As we explore the transformative power of engaging with the unconscious mind through active imagination, a deeper truth emerges. The journey toward inner growth and self-understanding ultimately leads to self-acceptance. Carl Jung believed that self-acceptance is not just a psychological goal, but the foundation of true freedom and happiness. It requires embracing every part of ourselves, even the aspects we often resist, the flaws, fears, and desires that make us human. This path toward self-acceptance is not easy, but it offers the profound reward of inner peace and fulfillment. Self-acceptance means acknowledging that you are not perfect and that you don't need to be. Many people spend their lives striving for perfection, trying to meet impossible standards set by themselves or others. But this pursuit often leads to frustration, self-criticism, and a sense of never being enough. Jung teaches that the key to freedom is letting go of the idea of perfection and instead embracing the full range of your humanity. By accepting your imperfections, you allow yourself to grow without the burden of unrealistic expectations. At the heart of self-acceptance is the willingness to confront the parts of yourself that you might have rejected. These parts may include emotions like anger, sadness, or fear, feelings that society or personal experiences have taught you to hide or suppress. Yet, these emotions are part of the human experience and are essential for understanding yourself fully. Jung believed that by acknowledging and integrating these emotions, you can move toward wholeness. Accepting your darker emotions doesn't mean letting them control you, but rather recognizing their value in your emotional landscape. One of the biggest obstacles to self-acceptance is fear of judgment, rejection, or even failure. Many people fear that if they show their true selves, they will be rejected or criticized. But Jung's philosophy teaches that true freedom comes from letting go of these fears and embracing authenticity. When you accept yourself, you no longer need to rely on external validation. The approval of others becomes less important when you are at peace with who you are, allowing you to live with greater confidence and self-assurance. Jung's concept of the shadow, the parts of ourselves that we suppress or deny, plays a crucial role in self-acceptance. The shadow often contains traits or desires that we have been taught are undesirable, but denying these parts only strengthens their hold on us. By bringing the shadow into the light, you can integrate these aspects of yourself in a healthy way. This process doesn't mean indulging in every impulse or emotion, but rather understanding where they come from and how they fit into the larger picture of who you are. Self-acceptance also involves embracing your limitations. While society often glorifies endless growth and achievement, Jung believed that true contentment comes from knowing your limits and being at peace with them. Accepting that there are things you may not excel at or circumstances you cannot control allows you to focus on what truly matters. This acceptance brings a sense of relief, as you no longer feel the need to constantly prove yourself or live up to unattainable standards. When you practice self-acceptance, you also cultivate compassion for yourself. This compassion is vital for healing and personal growth, as it allows you to forgive yourself for past mistakes and move forward with kindness. Many people are harsher on themselves than they would ever be on others, holding themselves to higher standards and criticizing every perceived flaw. But Jung's teachings encourage us to extend the same understanding and compassion to ourselves that we would offer to a loved one. This shift in perspective can transform how you relate to yourself and create a more nurturing internal environment. Self-acceptance opens the door to authentic relationships. When you accept yourself fully, you no longer feel the need to hide parts of yourself or wear a mask in social situations. You can show up as you are without fear of judgment or rejection. This authenticity creates deeper, more meaningful connections with others because you are not pretending to be someone you're not. People are drawn to authenticity, and by embracing who you are, you invite others to do the same. Another important aspect of self-acceptance is recognizing that flaws and imperfections are not weaknesses, but sources of strength. Our vulnerabilities allow us to connect with others on a deeper level, creating bonds based on shared experiences and empathy. When you accept your flaws, you stop seeing them as obstacles to overcome and start recognizing them as part of your unique journey. This shift in perception brings a sense of peace, as you no longer feel the need to constantly fix yourself. The process of self-acceptance also involves letting go of comparison. In a world filled with constant comparisons, it's easy to measure yourself against others and feel inadequate. But Jung believed that each individual's path is unique, and comparing yourself to others only leads to dissatisfaction. By focusing on your own journey and accepting where you are in life, you free yourself from the pressure to meet others' expectations. This acceptance allows you to appreciate your own progress and accomplishments without feeling the need to compete. Self-acceptance also leads to greater freedom in your choices. When you are not burdened by the need to conform to societal expectations or the judgments of others, you are free to make decisions that align with your true desires and values. This freedom allows you to live a life that is authentically yours, rather than one shaped by external pressures. You can pursue goals that resonate with your inner truth, knowing that your worth is not tied to anyone else's approval. As you practice self-acceptance, you may notice a shift in how you approach challenges. Instead of viewing obstacles as personal failings, you begin to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. This perspective shift allows you to face difficulties with resilience and courage, knowing that your worth is not diminished by setbacks. Self-acceptance gives you the strength to navigate life's ups and downs with grace, as you trust in your ability to overcome challenges without losing sight of your inherent value. Jung also emphasized the importance of accepting your desires and ambitions. Many people suppress their true desires out of fear of failure or judgment, but Jung believed that these desires are an essential part of who you are. By embracing your passions and goals, you align yourself with your true purpose. This acceptance allows you to pursue your ambitions with confidence, knowing that they are a reflection of your authentic self. Even if the path is uncertain, the freedom to follow your desires leads to a life of fulfillment and meaning. Self-acceptance also fosters emotional balance. When you accept all parts of yourself, including your emotions, you are better able to navigate your feelings without being overwhelmed by them. This emotional balance comes from understanding that emotions are a natural part of the human experience and that they do not define you. By accepting your emotions without judgment, you create space for them to be felt and processed, leading to greater emotional well-being. Another key aspect of self-acceptance is embracing your individuality. Jung believed that each person is unique, with their own combination of traits, experiences, and perspectives. By accepting what makes you different, you stop trying to fit into molds that don't reflect who you truly are. This individuality is what makes you special, and by embracing it, you unlock your true potential. Self-acceptance allows you to celebrate your uniqueness rather than trying to conform to external standards. As you cultivate self-acceptance, you also develop a deeper sense of inner peace. The constant striving for approval, perfection, or success can create a sense of unrest, as you are always chasing something outside of yourself. But when you accept yourself as you are, you find peace in the present moment. You no longer need to chase external validation because you are content with who you are at your core. This inner peace brings a sense of freedom, as you are no longer bound by the expectations of others. Self-acceptance also transforms how you approach personal growth. Instead of viewing growth as a way to fix yourself, you begin to see it as a natural, ongoing process of becoming more fully yourself. This shift in perspective allows you to approach growth with curiosity and openness, rather than judgment or self-criticism. By accepting where you are in the present, you create space for growth to occur organically, without forcing or pushing yourself in ways that feel unnatural. Through self-acceptance, you also learn to embrace uncertainty. Life is full of unknowns, and many people struggle with the need for control or certainty. But when you accept yourself fully, you begin to trust that you can handle whatever comes your way. This trust allows you to embrace uncertainty with confidence, knowing that your worth is not dependent on external circumstances. Self-acceptance frees you from the need for control, allowing you to flow with life's unpredictability with grace. The path to self-acceptance is not linear, and it often requires patience and persistence. There may be moments when you feel confident in yourself, followed by times when self-doubt creeps in. But Jung's philosophy teaches that this is part of the process. Self-acceptance is a journey, not a destination, and each step forward brings you closer to a deeper sense of freedom and happiness. By embracing this process with patience and kindness, you create the space for lasting transformation. As you continue on the path of self-acceptance, you may also notice a shift in how you perceive success. Instead of measuring success by external achievements or societal standards, you begin to define it on your own terms. True success becomes about living in alignment with your values and being at peace with who you are. This redefinition of success brings a sense of fulfillment that cannot be found through external accomplishments alone. Jung's teachings also remind us that self-acceptance is a lifelong practice. There will always be new aspects of yourself to discover and embrace, and this ongoing process is what leads to true freedom. By committing to self-acceptance as a daily practice, you create a foundation of inner strength and resilience that supports you through life's challenges. This practice allows you to live with greater authenticity, purpose, and joy, knowing that you are enough just as you are. In the end, self-acceptance is the ultimate path to freedom because it frees you from the need to be anything other than yourself. It allows you to embrace your humanity in all its complexity, knowing that every part of you, your strengths and weaknesses, your light and shadow, has value. This acceptance brings a sense of wholeness and peace that is the foundation of true happiness. As the path of self-acceptance leads to inner freedom, a deeper awareness of life's intricate connections begins to emerge. Jung's philosophy offers a profound insight into how life unfolds, not through random events, but through meaningful patterns. His concept of synchronicity challenges the idea of coincidence, revealing that certain events occur in a way that feels profoundly connected to our inner world. These moments, where the outer world mirrors our internal state, can guide us toward greater purpose and a more meaningful life. Synchronicity speaks to those experiences that defy logic, where events align in ways that seem beyond mere chance. Perhaps it's the unexpected encounter with someone at the exact moment you need guidance, or a series of signs that appear just as you're contemplating a significant decision. Jung believed that these occurrences are not random, but instead reveal a deeper connection between your inner experiences and the external world. By paying attention to these moments, you can unlock hidden insights and find direction in your life. The power of synchronicity lies in its ability to awaken you to the interconnectedness of all things. When you start to notice these meaningful coincidences, it becomes clear that life is not a series of isolated events. Everything is connected: your thoughts, feelings, actions, and the world around you. These connections remind you that your inner life plays a significant role in shaping your external reality. The more aware you become of this relationship, the more you can tap into the flow of life, aligning with your true purpose. Synchronicity often occurs when you are open and receptive to the possibilities around you. When you let go of rigid expectations or control, life has a way of unfolding in unexpected and meaningful ways. These moments of synchronicity may bring clarity or confirmation, showing you that you are on the right path. They may also serve as reminders to trust the journey, even when the outcome is uncertain. By embracing the flow of life, you open yourself to the guidance and support that synchronicity offers. One of the key lessons of synchronicity is the importance of being present. Meaningful coincidences often arise when you are fully engaged with the moment, paying attention to the subtle signs and signals that life presents. When you are distracted or caught up in future worries, these moments can easily pass unnoticed. But by cultivating presence, you create space for synchronicity to reveal itself, guiding you toward growth and self-discovery. Jung believed that synchronicity is not bound by the limits of time and space. These meaningful coincidences can occur across great distances or in moments that seem disconnected from linear time. This concept challenges the way we typically perceive cause and effect, suggesting that there is a larger, more complex web of connections at play. By opening yourself to this expanded view of reality, you begin to see how events, relationships, and experiences are interwoven in ways that transcend the everyday. As you begin to recognize moments of synchronicity, you may also notice a deepening sense of trust in life's unfolding. These meaningful coincidences remind you that there is a larger intelligence at work, guiding you toward your highest good. This trust allows you to let go of the need for control, knowing that life will bring you the experiences, people, and opportunities that you need for your personal growth. This surrender to the flow of life creates a sense of peace and ease as you learn to trust in the process. Synchronicity also offers a way to connect more deeply with your intuition. Often, these meaningful coincidences arise in response to an inner question or dilemma you've been grappling with. By paying attention to the signs and symbols that appear in your life, you can gain clarity on what your intuition is trying to tell you. These external confirmations of your inner knowing help you build confidence in your ability to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and insight. In moments of synchronicity, it can feel as though the universe is speaking directly to you. These events can provide comfort, reassurance, or even a sense of awe as you realize that you are part of something much larger than yourself. This feeling of being guided and supported by unseen forces can inspire a deeper connection to your spiritual path, reminding you that you are never truly alone on your journey. By embracing these moments, you strengthen your connection to the greater mysteries of life. The concept of synchronicity also invites you to explore the meaning behind the events in your life. Jung believed that these meaningful coincidences carry messages from the unconscious, offering insight into unresolved issues or hidden desires. By reflecting on the events that seem to carry special significance, you can uncover deeper layers of meaning and understanding. These insights can lead to breakthroughs in your personal growth, helping you align more closely with your true self. Synchronicity often appears during times of transition or transformation. When you are on the cusp of a significant change, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth, these meaningful coincidences can serve as markers along the way. They can offer guidance, affirmation, or even a gentle nudge in the right direction. By paying attention to the synchronicities that arise during these pivotal moments, you can navigate transitions with greater ease and confidence. As you embrace synchronicity, you may also notice a shift in how you relate to others. These meaningful connections are not limited to events. They also occur in relationships. You may encounter people who seem to enter your life at exactly the right time, offering support, wisdom, or opportunities for growth. These relationships may feel destined, as if they are part of a larger plan. By recognizing the role that synchronicity plays in your connections with others, you can deepen your relationships and create more meaningful interactions. Synchronicity also invites you to be open to the unknown. Often, these meaningful coincidences arise when you least expect them, bringing surprising opportunities or insights. By staying open to the unexpected, you create space for synchronicity to work in your life. This openness allows you to embrace opportunities that may not have been part of your original plan, but that ultimately lead you to greater fulfillment and purpose. Another important aspect of synchronicity is the way it helps you align with your inner truth. These meaningful coincidences often serve as reminders of what is most important to you, helping you stay true to your values and purpose. When life feels confusing or overwhelming, moments of synchronicity can bring clarity, guiding you back to your core. This alignment with your inner truth allows you to make decisions that are in harmony with your authentic self, leading to greater satisfaction and meaning. Synchronicity can also act as a catalyst for personal growth. These moments of meaningful coincidence often present opportunities for learning, healing, or transformation. They may bring to light unresolved issues or invite you to step into new experiences that challenge you to grow. By embracing these moments, you accelerate your personal evolution, moving toward greater self-awareness and empowerment. As you experience synchronicity more frequently, you may also notice a shift in how you perceive time. Instead of seeing life as a series of disconnected events, you begin to view it as a continuous, unfolding process. This perspective allows you to see the larger patterns at play, helping you understand how past experiences have shaped your present and how your current choices will influence your future. This expanded view of time fosters a deeper sense of connection and purpose. Synchronicity also highlights the importance of being attuned to the subtle signs and messages that life presents. These signs may come in the form of a conversation, a song on the radio, or a chance encounter, and they often carry a deeper significance than what is immediately apparent. By tuning into these subtle cues, you can gain valuable insights that guide you on your path. This heightened awareness allows you to live more consciously, making choices that are aligned with your highest good. Another powerful aspect of synchronicity is its ability to dissolve the boundaries between the inner and outer worlds. These meaningful coincidences demonstrate that the line between your internal experience and the external world is not as solid as it seems. Your thoughts, emotions, and intentions have a direct impact on the world around you, and the events that unfold in your life are often a reflection of your inner state. This realization empowers you to take responsibility for your life, knowing that you are an active participant in creating your reality. Synchronicity also invites you to embrace mystery. Not every meaningful coincidence will have an immediate explanation, and that's part of the beauty of the experience. These moments remind you that there are forces at work beyond your understanding, and that life is full of wonder and mystery. By embracing the unknown, you open yourself to the magic of synchronicity, allowing it to guide you toward new possibilities and deeper connections. As you cultivate an awareness of synchronicity, you may also find that it strengthens your connection to your spiritual path. These moments of meaningful coincidence often carry a sense of divine timing or intervention, reminding you that there is a greater intelligence at work in your life. This sense of connection to something larger than yourself can deepen your spiritual practice, helping you cultivate faith and trust in the unfolding of your journey. Synchronicity also encourages you to take action. When meaningful coincidences arise, they often come with an invitation to step into a new experience or make a significant change. These moments are not passive. They are calls to engage with life more fully. By taking action in response to synchronicity, you demonstrate your willingness to grow and evolve. This proactive approach allows you to co-create your life in partnership with the forces of synchronicity. At its core, synchronicity is about alignment. When you experience meaningful coincidences, it is often a sign that you are in alignment with your true self and the flow of life. These moments of alignment bring a sense of ease, clarity, and purpose, as if everything is falling into place. By paying attention to synchronicity, you can cultivate this alignment more consistently, creating a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. Synchronicity also offers a powerful reminder of the importance of trusting your path. Even when life feels uncertain or challenging, these moments of meaningful coincidence reassure you that you are exactly where you need to be. They remind you that every experience, even the difficult ones, is part of your journey toward growth and self-discovery. This trust allows you to navigate life's ups and downs with greater resilience and grace, knowing that you are supported by the deeper currents of synchronicity. As you continue to embrace synchronicity, you may also notice a shift in how you approach decision-making. These meaningful coincidences often provide guidance or confirmation when you are faced with a choice, helping you trust your intuition and make decisions that are in alignment with your highest good. This sense of guidance allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that you are being supported by the forces of synchronicity. Ultimately, synchronicity leads you to a more meaningful life by helping you connect with the deeper patterns and connections that shape your experience. These moments remind you that life is not a series of random events, but a continuous unfolding process in which your inner and outer worlds are intimately connected. By embracing synchronicity, you align yourself with the flow of life, creating a sense of purpose, fulfillment, and deep connection to the world around you. Having explored the profound connections that synchronicity reveals between our inner and outer worlds, we now turn to another of Jung's deeply transformative ideas, the anima and animus. These concepts represent the inner feminine and masculine aspects within each of us, regardless of our gender. Integrating these forces leads to psychological balance, offering access to deeper layers of inner wisdom. By embracing both the anima and animus, we step into a more complete version of ourselves, nurturing a greater sense of harmony within and a clearer connection to our true self. The anima and animus are not just abstract concepts. They influence how we perceive the world, relate to others, and understand ourselves. When we deny or suppress these inner aspects, we often experience inner conflict or imbalance. The anima, representing the feminine energy in men, and the animus, the masculine energy in women, offer the potential for deeper insight and emotional growth when integrated fully. This integration allows us to navigate life with a more comprehensive understanding of who we are, moving beyond societal stereotypes and expectations. For many, the anima and animus remain unconscious forces, exerting influence without being recognized. When we ignore these inner aspects, we might feel incomplete, as though something essential is missing from our lives. This disconnection from the anima or animus can manifest as emotional turbulence or unfulfilled desires. By turning inward and becoming aware of these energies, we can begin to heal this division, allowing a richer experience of life to unfold. Embracing the anima and animus means acknowledging all aspects of our being and discovering the wisdom they hold. Inner wisdom comes from understanding the full spectrum of who we are, and the anima and animus play a key role in this process. The anima, with its qualities of intuition, nurturing, and emotional depth, brings sensitivity and connection to the unconscious. The animus, embodying logic, structure, and assertiveness, offers clarity and decisiveness. Together, they form a complete picture of our psyche, balancing intuition with reason, sensitivity with strength. It is through this integration that we access a deeper well of wisdom within. Jung believed that these inner archetypes often appear in dreams, fantasies, or projections. For example, a man may encounter his anima in dreams as a symbolic female figure, while a woman might meet her animus in the form of a male character. These figures reflect the aspects of the self that need to be integrated. By paying attention to these symbols, we can begin the process of uniting the masculine and feminine within, drawing on the strengths of both energies. This union leads to a greater sense of psychological balance and self-understanding. The process of integrating the anima and animus involves embracing qualities that might feel unfamiliar or uncomfortable at first. For men, this may mean opening up to emotional vulnerability, intuition, or creative expression, while for women, it may involve stepping into assertiveness, logical reasoning, or leadership. These qualities are not exclusive to any gender, but are available to all. When we allow ourselves to embody both the feminine and masculine within, we become more whole, accessing the full range of our potential. One of the most powerful aspects of integrating the anima and animus is the way it changes our relationships. When we are in touch with both our masculine and feminine energies, we relate to others from a place of balance and authenticity. We no longer project our unmet needs onto others, expecting them to fulfill what we have denied within ourselves. Instead, we can engage in relationships with greater emotional intelligence, compassion, and understanding, leading to deeper, more meaningful connections. This integration also transforms how we approach challenges in life. The anima brings the ability to navigate uncertainty with grace and intuition, while the animus offers the clarity and determination needed to take decisive action. Together, these energies create a powerful dynamic, allowing us to face obstacles with both inner strength and emotional flexibility. By drawing on the qualities of both the anima and animus, we can respond to life's challenges with resilience and wisdom. As we begin to cultivate a relationship with the anima and animus, we may notice a shift in our inner dialogue. Instead of being dominated by one perspective, either overly emotional or overly rational, we find a more balanced voice emerging. This voice is not caught in extremes, but draws on both logic and feeling, creating a more nuanced understanding of ourselves and the world. This inner dialogue helps us make decisions that are aligned with both our heart and mind, leading to greater inner harmony. The journey to integrate the anima and animus also encourages self-acceptance. When we embrace both the masculine and feminine aspects within us, we stop judging parts of ourselves as wrong or inadequate. We see that each quality has its place and value in our lives. This acceptance leads to a more compassionate relationship with ourselves as we honor the complexity and wholeness of our being. With this self-acceptance comes a deeper sense of inner peace, as we no longer feel divided or conflicted within. As we develop this balance, we also unlock creative potential. The anima, with its connection to the unconscious, fuels imagination and creativity, while the animus brings structure and focus to these creative impulses. By integrating both energies, we create a fertile ground for innovation and expression. Whether through art, writing, or problem-solving, this balance allows us to bring our ideas to life with both fluidity and precision. This creative flow enhances not only our personal fulfillment, but also our ability to contribute meaningfully to the world around us. Integrating the anima and animus also fosters emotional intelligence. The anima's sensitivity to feelings and intuition deepens our emotional awareness, while the animus provides the rational clarity to navigate these emotions constructively. This balance helps us manage our emotional responses with greater awareness and maturity. Instead of being overwhelmed by emotions or disconnected from them, we find a middle ground where emotions are understood, processed, and expressed in a healthy way. As we connect more deeply with both the anima and animus, we also develop a stronger sense of personal empowerment. The anima's nurturing energy strengthens our capacity for self-care and emotional resilience, while the animus's assertiveness empowers us to take action and set boundaries. Together, these energies help us stand confidently in our truth, knowing that we have the inner resources to navigate life's complexities. This sense of empowerment allows us to move through the world with greater confidence and authenticity. One of the most significant transformations that occurs through the integration of the anima and animus is the dissolution of gender stereotypes. Society often imposes rigid expectations on how men and women should behave, limiting the full expression of our humanity. By embracing both the masculine and feminine within, we break free from these limitations, allowing ourselves to embody the qualities that resonate with our true nature. This liberation leads to a more authentic and fulfilling expression of who we are, beyond societal constraints. This process also brings a deeper understanding of the complementary nature of the masculine and feminine. Instead of seeing these energies as opposites in conflict, we begin to appreciate how they support and enhance each other. The anima's receptivity complements the animus's action, just as the animus's clarity supports the anima's intuition. This harmonious interplay creates a sense of balance and wholeness within, allowing us to navigate life with greater fluidity and ease. As we cultivate this balance, we also become more attuned to the needs of others. The anima's empathy and emotional depth help us connect with the feelings and experiences of those around us, while the animus's clarity allows us to offer practical support and guidance. This combination of emotional sensitivity and rational insight enhances our ability to build strong, supportive relationships. We become more effective in offering help and understanding as we can engage with both the emotional and practical aspects of a situation. The integration of the anima and animus also fosters a deeper connection to our inner wisdom. The anima's intuitive knowing guides us toward insights that cannot always be reached through logic alone, while the animus's rational discernment helps us apply this wisdom in practical ways. Together, these energies create a balanced approach to decision-making, where both intuition and reason are honored. This alignment with our inner wisdom allows us to make choices that are in harmony with our true purpose and values. As we deepen our connection with the anima and animus, we also develop a greater capacity for self-reflection. The anima's connection to the unconscious helps us explore the deeper layers of our psyche, while the animus provides the clarity needed to understand and integrate these insights. This self-reflection is a key component of personal growth, as it allows us to see ourselves more clearly and make conscious changes that support our well-being. The balance between introspection and action creates a dynamic process of continuous learning and evolution. The process of integrating the anima and animus also enhances our ability to navigate conflict. The anima's emotional intelligence allows us to approach conflict with empathy and understanding, while the animus's assertiveness helps us address issues directly and constructively. This balance between compassion and clarity allows us to resolve conflicts in a way that honors both our needs and the needs of others. By embracing both energies, we become more skilled at finding solutions that promote harmony and understanding. As we continue this journey of integration, we may also notice a deepening of our spiritual connection. The anima's receptivity opens us to the mysteries of the unconscious and the spiritual realms, while the animus's clarity helps us discern and interpret these experiences. This balance between openness and understanding allows us to explore our spiritual path with greater depth and insight. Whether through meditation, dreams, or synchronicity, we develop a richer connection to the spiritual dimensions of life. Integrating the anima and animus also enhances our resilience. The anima's emotional depth allows us to process and heal from life's challenges, while the animus's strength helps us persevere and take action when needed. This combination of emotional and mental resilience enables us to navigate difficult times with grace and determination. By drawing on both energies, we can face adversity with a sense of inner balance and confidence, knowing that we have the resources to overcome whatever comes our way. As we embrace both the anima and animus, we also become more adaptable. The anima's flexibility allows us to flow with life's changes, while the animus's decisiveness helps us take action when necessary. This adaptability is key to navigating the uncertainties of life, as it enables us to respond to changing circumstances with both openness and clarity. By balancing these energies, we become more agile in our approach to life, able to adjust and thrive in the face of new challenges and opportunities. Through this process of integration, we also develop a deeper sense of inner harmony. The anima's connection to the unconscious helps us access the hidden aspects of ourselves, while the animus's clarity allows us to bring these aspects into conscious awareness. This integration creates a sense of wholeness as we honor and embrace all parts of ourselves. This inner harmony reflects outward, creating a life that feels aligned and purposeful. As we continue to work with the anima and animus, we may also notice an increase in our ability to manifest our goals and desires. The anima's creative energy fuels our visions and dreams, while the animus's focus and determination help us bring these visions to life. This balance between creativity and action allows us to manifest our desires in a grounded and effective way. By integrating both energies, we become more empowered to create the life we truly want. In this journey of integration, we also learn to embrace the ebb and flow of life. The anima's sensitivity allows us to tune into the natural rhythms of life, while the animus's strength helps us navigate these cycles with resilience. This balance between receptivity and action helps us move through life's ups and downs with greater ease and grace. By honoring both energies, we develop a deeper sense of trust in the natural flow of life. Ultimately, integrating the anima and animus leads to a greater sense of self-mastery. The anima's emotional intelligence and the animus's clarity work together to create a balanced, empowered sense of self. This self-mastery allows us to navigate life with confidence, knowing that we have the inner resources to meet whatever challenges arise. By embracing both the feminine and masculine within, we step into a more complete and authentic version of ourselves, unlocking the full potential of our inner wisdom. As we've journeyed through the transformative power of Carl Jung's philosophy, from understanding the shadow within to embracing synchronicity and integrating the anima and animus, the path to a more authentic, fulfilling life becomes clearer. Jung's wisdom teaches us that true change doesn't happen overnight, but by embracing every part of ourselves, our fears, our strengths, our hidden desires, we can live more consciously and with purpose. Through individuation, self-acceptance, and deeper self-awareness, we unlock the potential to lead a life rich with meaning and inner peace. Now that you've explored these profound insights, it's time to take action. Let's keep the conversation going. Drop a comment below sharing which aspect of Jung's philosophy resonated with you the most, or tell us how you're planning to use these principles to make a change in your life. If you found value in this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more life-changing content like this. Let's continue this journey towards self-discovery and transformation together.